Hi, good morning, Dr. Grant. It's so nice to meet you. My name is Miss Moncrief, and I am Will's teacher. This is now the 6th time I've tried contacting you using this method, so let's see if this works. So I have your son, Will, in my 6th grade class, and we're here to discuss Will's IEP and how we can ensure that he is successful in my classroom. I'm very excited to share his progress. So Will's exceptionality, as you know, is autism and sensory processing disorder, and I want to make sure that Will has the best academic experience possible in my classroom. Will is very energetic and funny and social. He's very friendly. He loves talking to his classmates, answering questions. He loves asking questions. One of the things that really sticks out to me is that every morning when he comes in, Will is greeting me with a smile. He is asking me questions about my life, and he loves answering questions about his. He wants to be a Marine when he grows up. And I want to focus on that usually in some of the discussions and classwork stuff we have, what he wants to be when he grows up, essentially. We've noticed that he doesn't like to read, but he does like Harry Potter. So I've been trying to kind of implement Harry Potter into some of the works and reading time, especially during PRT, so that he's more engaged with reading. So in my class, we have 4 DBQs throughout the year. We've only done about 2, and what I want to discuss today is the one that we were working on in November, which was actually a lesson in a pre-assessment I did with Will, and it really shows his progress since the last time we talked. So we also have 5 tests. Another thing that's amazing is that Will has been increasing his participation in these tests by filling out more than he ever has since the beginning of the school year. We have 12 more quizzes. We have 2 group projects, which Will excels at group projects. And we have several discussions during class time about different texts. So my policy is revision. I believe students should be able to revise their work, which is something that Will does take advantage of. Assignments need to be turned in on time. Will has no problem with this. Class participation, another amazing thing that Will is participating in. And the use of complete sentences, which is one of Will's struggles. So we're going to go over that. So Will's areas of strength: conversation, discussion, and group work. Will loves to participate in things. He puts forth effort in class. He takes notes on his iPad. So one of the things that his potential for growth is writing. So writing is not one of his strengths. It's something he does struggle with. But what I implemented in the class was an iPad. So Will takes a pen or a pencil and he feels it and he says he can't work with it because it feels off. So instead of having to give him a utensil that interrupts his senses somehow, he likes being able to type on the iPad. So it helps him stay a lot more focused during class assignments. He has trouble staying seated, but another strategy I've kind of got going for that, and raising his hands. Again, another thing we're kind of working with right now. So his areas of current growth, as you can see by the chart: digital literacy. Using the iPad, Will is so much more engaged in classroom activity than he ever has been. It's a different way of learning, and it really works for him, because he doesn't like to write. It takes too much time for him, but being able to type and see all the keys out there, loves it. So his writing has increased because he's been writing on the iPad, and his focus during the classroom assignments has increased because he's really enjoyed being able to write on the iPad. He emails his assignments to me once he finishes, and he also enjoys the fact that he can just email it to me, kind of like turning it in person, but cooler. So assignment completion after the introduction of the iPad. So Will used to turn in assignments only about 10% complete. He'd fill in a couple questions, and then he would just stop. But now that he can fill them out on the use of technology, he loves it. He had 60% completion rate on the last week that we worked for assignments. On the 4th assignment, he was above 60%. It was beautiful. He enjoyed turning in classwork because making the process of doing the classwork and turning it in was more fun for him. So some of the revision and strategies that I've implemented are the raise your hand stick strategy. Will explained to me that when he raises his hand, his shirt adjusts a bit and it hurts him. So instead I gave him a stick with a little hand at the end that he instead raises like this, and he doesn't have to irritate himself by that. And it reminds him that he cannot talk out loud or yell out when we have class discussion. It's been really helping with his participation. Another thing is I want Will to start making more decisions about his education. He likes being able to make decisions. He likes having this autonomy in class. So I set up 3 different locations around the room because Will does like to move around a lot, but giving him purpose. So telling Will he can move to any one of these 3 locations to work kind of controls that movement a bit. He can move around and adjust, but within those areas. Something else we learned during PRT, Will still struggles with reading books quietly. Likes to kind of say them out loud, so I had him listen to audiobooks of Harry Potter. Loved it. I limited exposure because Will was getting a little bit distracted by the window or by the people outside. So I had Will kind of near the middle of the classroom amongst his friends, which he really enjoys, kind of away from the window so it's not distracting him, and away from the hallway. And partner work. Will partnered with the DBQ lesson that I'm going to go over, and the two of them worked together to fill out these strategies. Perfect. It's easier for Will when he's able to talk with somebody. And if he's not talking with a partner, he's talking out loud. So giving him that partner kind of makes it mesh a little bit. Personal connections. I need to give personal connections to Will to make him want to learn something. Because just telling him to learn something because he has to, not going to cut it with Will. And I need to start incorporating more written learning assignments combined with the strengths in verbal and kinesthetic learning. So you might be seeing some more of that with his homework. I kind of want to get him not only to speak and move, I want to get him to write more, because we do need to work a little bit on his writing. He did tell me that he's interested in cursive. So maybe if he has a special pen or pencil at home that he really likes, possibly we could start him on that and try and learn how to do cursive. Maybe he doesn't like writing in print. Maybe he can like cursive. So my future goals for Will. We talked about this in class today with Will. I want him to be able to write complete sentences during written assignments and DBQs. I think he can get there in the next week or two. I want him to remember to raise his hand by using the stick at least 3 times during class instead of calling out. He's been getting so much better with this. I only want him to get out of the seat to move to one of the 3 assigned working locations in the classroom. He still gets up to talk to me a lot, but it's getting a lot better when he's able to choose where he works. And I want him to read 1 full page of his favorite book, Harry Potter, out loud. I hope that he can work with you with that, because he does need to practice reading out loud, and he can't get that practice with PRT because it's supposed to be silent reading. Now, pre-assessment. To assess Will's knowledge for this DBQ we talked about, I needed to kind of figure out if he knows how to word an argument or develop one, and Will loves to argue. He was able to articulate verbally his argument about why war game that he plays is better than Fortnite. And because of the personal connection and personal motivation of the topic discussed, he was really interested in figuring out an argument for this. He struggled to put his own thoughts down on paper, but when we worked with the DBQ, I partnered him with someone else who was able to help him put his thoughts down. So for the DBQ argument, Will chose that the benefits of the Great Wall did not outweigh the cost. And he was able to make connections to war, actually, his own interest in war, in order to cite this and the battles that went on in the Silk Road, which was incredible. So 2 UDL brain breaks and essay lesson outlines that I did in order to help the class a bit and Will a bit. Brain breaks, we kind of took a break, we shook it out, danced. We did a game one time, and it really helps the kids get back in focus because they got all these jitters out. And then essay outline. Will doesn't like to have to hear me talk and see me and write down things. But getting a worksheet that has just blanks and places for him to fill out things, the essay outline helped him organize his thesis, his inquiry, his argument. It's beautiful. So Will, in conclusion, overall Will is very energetic, friendly, and an innovative student who's a pleasure to have in my class. I enjoyed walking him through the immersion of the iPad with him because it was kind of something that we were able to discover together. And it's really been working for him. He likes participating a lot more now that he's got some technology to incorporate with. And one thing I want to make apparent to you is that my suggestions and strategies are only here as that. Suggestions. You know Will far better than I do. You're his parent. And I look forward to your input on progress and possible adjustments to feel and help him in the classroom. If you have any questions or concerns, you can email me or call me anytime. Thank you for coming, and please make sure to contact me if anything comes up in the future. Thank you.